So this morning I went to Dunkin Donuts. Oh boy, I'm going to hear about this. But this morning I went to Dunkin Donuts. And it was a long line. And there was a gentleman in front of me. He was wearing a T-shirt for a body shop. Blue T-shirt, something or other body shop. And he kept looking at me and going, oh, jeez. Am I wearing my clothes on right? To put my shirt on inside out? But actually, when somebody does that, I know they're trying to figure out who I am if they don't know who I am. And he looks at me and he says, in a voice much like Sergio's, broken English, are you Mark Levin? I said, I am. And he couldn't have been nicer. And he said, let me tell you something. I listen to your talks. That's why I'm doing this today. It's like Susan Rice's son. If I can appeal to 3, 5, 10 people tonight, I've done my job as a citizen. And he said to me, I said, what do you do? He said, I'm a mechanic. I work on diesel engines, so I guess mostly trucks. And he said, and I've told everybody there to listen to your show. And I said, well, I can't thank you enough. I said, why? Because you talk about liberty, he said. You talk about liberty. And I want people to understand liberty. And he comes from south of the border somewhere. We didn't have time to get into it. This is important. This is important stuff. I know the whole country is focused on Samantha Bee. I know this. But why is Samantha Bee important? Not because of her or her show or her disgusting character and everything. No, but she's illustrative. Colbert is illustrative. Kimmel is illustrative. Jake Tapper is illustrative. CNN. I have a question for you. We'll work on our footnotes now. I have a question about CNN. What is CNN's purpose? Let's just focus on CNN. What is the purpose of CNN? I pointed out, and others have now pointed out, that it's in every damn airport you go into. And we looked into this, and now we know they have a national contract with a bunch of airports that go on for years and so forth. They have a monopoly in a lot of these airports. And that was when they were, and proud to be, a news operation. Even though they were liberal, they weren't like they are today. What is the purpose of CNN today? It's not a news organization. I know they attack Fox. Fox is much more a news organization than CNN. Fox will tell you which are the news programs and which are not. CNN doesn't do that. CNN doesn't even try to be fair and balanced. Whenever they have a so-called conservative Republican on there, it's always 3-1, 4-1, 8-1. You have former spokespeople for the Obama administration on at Fox. Doesn't mean I like them. It means they're there. You have former spokespeople for the Hillary Clinton campaign on Fox. You don't have the same thing on MSNBC and CNN, but you know what? That's not even what I'm talking about. What is the purpose of CNN? They say they're there to protect freedom of the press. They're not protecting freedom of the press. How are they protecting freedom of the press? How is Jake Tapper protecting freedom of the press? The constant day in and day out propaganda? The hate for the current president, administration, and his family? Doesn't protect freedom of the press. We have evidence. Evidence abounds of police state tactics that were used by the prior administration. What does CNN do? They hire one of the people involved. Clapper. What does NBC, MSNBC do? They hire one of the people involved, Brennan. What do all the main big media outlets do? They promote Jim Comey in his book. Then they tell us a spy isn't a spy. First a spy is an informant, then they're a human resource person. And it's no big deal. It's like belling up to the bar and talking to somebody. Really? The FISA court? What's the problem with the FISA application? No big deal. What's the FISA with the dossier? So the Russians are involved. But no big deal. So what's the problem with Mueller? A man who has an absolute blank slate in violation of the Appointments Clause of the Constitution, absolute blank slate to do whatever he wants. What's the problem with the tactics he's used against Manafort and Lieutenant General Mike Flynn? No big deal. It's all okay. This is the tyrannical mindset of the statist progressives in the media, in Hollywood, on TV, in their comedy routines. It is pervasive. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.